And a very good afternoon to you. And now, Mrs. Abel and a flat with no roof. Last week, Mrs. Abel of Vienna told me an interesting story that had happened at the end of the war. And although now very funny, was at the time no laughing matter at all. In fact, it was really quite serious. Mrs. Abel, who was just a young girl at the time, was out with her mother and sisters. They had gone to visit their granny, and arriving home in the evening, they were all in good moods. It had been a wonderful day. But then came the shock. Their top-floor flat had no longer a roof. It was gone. The girls and their mother were speechless. It turned out that whilst the girls and their mother were out, a Russian missile had taken their roof clean away, and luckily the rest of the building had suffered no damage at all. So, what to do next? Organize. Books, pictures, and many other things too were put into cupboards for safety, and the beds were all moved to the back, the only part of the flat which still had a roof, dry nights at least. And so the family lived for the next 3 or 4 weeks until a temporary roof was erected. Open-air living with wonderful views of the sun and the moon and the clouds and the stars. But there was one funny thing that the girls have never forgotten: a Sunday lunch with a difference. Whilst happily enjoying a fine simple meal, it started to rain. No problem. The umbrellas were ready and waiting, and lunch carried on as if nothing was happening. Lunch under umbrellas at home, just eating in the rain. What a wonderful feeling! We're happy again. And of course, the cucumber salad tasted of rain, a taste Mrs. Abel has never forgotten. Last week, Mrs. Abel of Vienna told me an interesting story. Eating and laughing under umbrellas, and cucumber salad that tasted of rain. Things could have been worse. At least the schnitzels were great, and that's what's important. Mrs. Abel and lunch in the rain. And now some vocabulary and language assistance. Erected. Erected. It turned out. It turned out. At least. At least. No laughing matter. No laughing matter. Open air. Open air. Quite. Quite. Suffered no damage at all. Suffered no damage at all. Umbrella. Umbrella. Whilst. Whilst. And that's all for now. Thank you for listening. I'm Nigel A. James.